Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Man, it looks just like it did yesterday. Nice, beautiful day out. And they had a great day yesterday. Football, got over there, played football. We won. I think the score was told to nothing. Or what? Is this on the screen? I thought that was tissue paper for me blowing my nose. But we won our game. We had a great game. It was awesome seeing everybody down there. And it's a physical game. I always like the physical games. The physical games are the best because it just makes you feel alive. And both teams are trying really hard. The game was close, and everybody tries to step up their game and brings their A game. I think it's one of those things that, in life we kind of forget about, right? When we're watching somebody on TV, like how is it that they can play so bad or, they play so good one week, but then they play so bad the next week, or they play so good one play, but they play so bad the next play. I guess we kind of think of everybody as robots. We watch the TV shows and the movies and it just seems like everybody is so buttoned up all the time, right? The acting is impeccable and perfect and, the cinematography and the way they put everything together. But at the end of the day, everybody's a person, and everybody's trying to be the best that they can be. But, each play that you play, you're giving it all various degrees of effort, you know, how much, how hard are you trying? Where's your head at on that play? Did you get pissed off? So, sometimes you make a good play. Sometimes you're going through all the mechanics the right way and, you're using your head and you're thinking about the play. And that's what I like about football. What I like about football is the physicality. And I love the contact. And I love the skill sets that go into it. It's unlike any other game. Rugby and Australian rules football, they're kind of the same, but not really. And in the trenches where I'm battling, it's a constant chess match. You're always trying to pre-snap, put yourself right where you need to be, but you're also setting up the next play, and you're setting up the next play. And, you're setting up something even for later in the game when it comes important. You may be doing something a certain way and, moving a certain way. And, even the conversations that you have with the referees, that you're trying to make sure that when a critical time during the game comes, that everybody, that you're not going to get a penalty called on you, that you're making sure that that referee, like for example, I was called for a couple of holdings. There were two different refs. They were actually good blocks, and my team saw that they were good blocks. And what the other team hates, is when they come in, they want to rush, but they want to rush inside, and they want to get their hands inside. So all I ever do is I take my hands and I bring them down, and then I keep my arms locked in and I lock them in, and then I'm like this. And they want to call that holding, and you'll hear the guys on the sideline yelling, yelling, yelling. And sometimes it works with effect that the referees see it or they didn't miss it, but then it's in their head. And then they're going to be watching me the next play. So, I make sure that I talk to them and I say, hey guys, I just want to know what the rules are. And then I play within them because, I'll let them know that I've asked referees and they've told me that this is a legal play, that I'm not holding them, that if they put their arms inside me, that's their bad. And if they're not able to get their hands out, but I got them locked in like this, that's on them. That's not a hold. Holding somebody, you'd actually be doing this, or, grabbing their arm, something like that. So, I had to talk to a couple of different refs. It happened a couple of different times, and then it was remedied. They didn't call it again. But you have to kind of do that. So, you're playing politics within a game as well. And, but whatever the referee decides or tells me, because all referees are different. So if I'm playing and they tell me, no, that's holding, well, then I got to stop doing it. Is it holding? No, it's not. But these guys are making the rules that day, and I kind of got to play within them. So it's just a constant chess match. You're always trying to make sure you're setting that guy up, and you're feeling him out. You're feeling him out. And you're trying to you figure out what it is you're going to have to do throughout the whole course of the game, so that by the end of the game, you're still having that advantage. Most of the guys, by the time the second half rolls around, the third quarter rolls around, most guys aren't training. So they're pretty much gassed by that time. And if you're winning, really in the second half, most guys have given up, which sucks, because for me, I like to be there and I like to battle, and I just want to play the whole game. So, yesterday was just one of those games that was really physical, and it was great. So why do I talk about this? Is it because I'm trying to let you guys know how to play football and men's leagues, in Buffalo or wherever you're at? No, it's not. It's about just whatever we're doing in life, how to make sure we're paying attention to what it is that we're doing in that moment. Every little detail and nuance and intricacy of what is happening, so that you can be the best, you can give the best, you can do the best that you can in that moment, whatever that moment is that you're doing. Whether it's, you with work, whether it's you with your family, whether you're with your kids, whether you're by yourself, whether you're with your wife, whether you're with your girlfriend, your family, your mother, you're out at a barbecue or a bonfire, even if you're out at the store, if you're cleaning at the house. Talk to so many people that struggle, with the nurture that I do. So many people that struggle with different parts of their lives, whatever it is, or multiple parts, because typically it involves multiple layers and multiple levels of what they're struggling with in life. And what it really comes down to for everyone is this: they're not living in the moment. They're not living in the now. They're not being present. And by not being present, what that means is you're being distracted. You're allowing things in your life from other aspects of your life, other things that you do in life, to impact and affect what it is that you've got going on in that moment. And you're not able to be all in. You're not able to be present, mindful and aware. You're not to yourself, and you're not able to be good to yourself. The people that I admire, like Chris, I don't know if he's still on or not, but, it's people like Chris that I admire. And I'll tell you the reason why I admire, because I fail at the focus a lot. And I try to be good, and I try to compartmentalize, and I try to schedule. But a guy like Chris, and a guy like Joe Kanaski, and the women that I know, in my life that are extremely successful in business as well, all of the women that do what they do, and, and they do a great job. Those two are coming to mind right now. And, Chris is so impressive because he's able to get through like one job after another in what he does in construction. And I struggle with that. I just do. Because I'm so all over the board. But, being singular with what it is that you're doing, getting that task done when you're there, whatever portions of what it is that you have to do or you need to do. And then once you're done, or you've gotten it as far as you can, then you go on to the next thing. And in so many aspects, in so many parts of my life, I'm good with that. But a lot of aspects and components of my life, I fail at it. So I always have this high regard and this admiration for people, like Chris and like Joe, that have a plan, but they get through it. In a job that, may take me a couple of weeks because I'm not able to be focused, for those guys, they get it done in a few days because they're like, I got to boom, 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 and they get done. So, the people that I talk to, they struggle just like I do for all variety of reasons. And, how people, and I've mentioned this before in these different lives, where people are like, what's the meaning of life? Everybody's looking for the meaning of life. And guys, in the movies and Hollywood and television And, the plays that you go to and the schools that you go to and the circles that you travel in and your family and your friends, your sphere of influence. So many people are like, I'm looking for it. What is the meaning of life? Searching for it. I just want that one thing, the City Slickers, and Jack Palance, just that one thing, whatever his voice was, Billy Crystal and the crew and the gang, and I can't remember the rest of the guys, but they're all searching for the meaning of life, right? And, it's no mystery what the meaning of life is. Mystery of life, or the meaning of life, is being in that moment. Like, we've created our lives. Our lives are a sole creation and manufacturing of what we have done, lived, and built. Maybe consciously, maybe we had a plan. Maybe we created that. Maybe we didn't. Subconsciously, we kind of feel like we're just floating through life, and everything that happens in our life is just by chance. And we're where we're at, we're all right, I want to be here and I want to be there. But we're where we're at because we created it. Every decision that we made, everything that we did put us in the place. Everything that we didn't do, every decision that we didn't make, put us in the position that we're in. And I fail a lot, guys. And I still fail, and I'm failing today. Like, there are things that I should be doing and I need to be doing, but I don't do them. And I try to be the best that I can for everybody that I can be in everything that we've got going on, but sometimes it's tough to stay focused. So the meaning of life is just that. Being good to yourself. Being in the moment. Appreciating what you have and being happy about it, being grateful for it, understanding you created it and you can make your life whatever you want. Any single person on the planet is 1,000% capable of making their life whatever they want, whenever they want. I've seen it happen time and time and time again. Well, Pete, how do I do that? And with the people that I help and that I start to try to put onto a path for themselves, is I say, it's all about making decisions. It's all about being good to yourself. It's all about what are you going to do for yourself today? What are you going to do for yourself in this moment? What are you going to do for yourself tomorrow? Are you going to let outside influences, like your family, friends, media, are you going to let them tell you that you're not good enough? Are you going to let them make you believe that you can't do it? When you make those decisions, you're beating yourself down. You're undermining yourself. You're sabotaging yourself. You're victimizing yourself. Because when those people that believe this philosophy and move forward with it, the things that they're able to accomplish are just transformative. They're just unbelievable. And they are not accomplishing these big, huge things all at one time. They're accomplishing them one little piece of the puzzle at a time. One little piece of puzzle at a time. And I tell people analogies all the time. You're washing the dishes. You got a pile of dishes. They don't get done all at once. One dish, one piece of the puzzle at a time. When you're working on the car, it's the same thing. There's all steps to the process. And putting your life, like if, let's say where you're at right now is you're in an apartment, you've got a job that, you're making $15 an hour, you don't like who you work with, you're having struggles with your family, you're having struggles with finances, your car is breaking down. Those were all decisions that you made. Well, but Pete, they weren't the decisions that I made. My life just happened to be this way. No, you had a choice every single day. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, guys. Great to see you, man. Hope you had a great weekend. Missed you over at Joe Kanaski's. It was fun yesterday. I cut a tree down and I crushed his apple tree. Felt bad, but well, the apple tree's still standing, so it's okay. But Mike Segul was watching the video and he kept laughing. He watched it like 20 times and everybody was cracking up. Joe was like, oh, or Mike's like, oh man, you killed the apple tree. And then Joe was like, my apple tree. So it was pretty funny. Good morning, Jordan. How you doing, buddy? I'm not sure. Let me find out. I'll reach out to Charlie. And then Jordan, if you would, message me just to ask me so that I remember. Right now, message me so I remember to ask Charlie to see if he is going to have any evening meetings. So you've got all that stuff going on in your life, and you're just so upset about everything that's happening in life. And you're like, how did I get here? We got here by the decisions that you made or you didn't make. Every single one of them. The thoughts that you had, the way you treated yourself, the way that you, interacted with yourself, the way that, that internal narrative, that internal conversation that you had. You sat down on the couch and you watched TV. And during all of that time, what you could have been doing is doing something for yourself, looking for another job, but that's too tough. I'm happy enough. I'm at this job. Looking for other opportunities, figuring out how to educate yourself, taking a look at other income revenues. And right now there's an unlimited amount of alternative income revenues of what you could do. Where it doesn't take a whole lot of effort. You can go drive your car around, drive people, you can make deliveries. There's all kinds of online from at-home programs at minimal education you do in training, and then you can work from home a couple or a few hours a day. And you try to work towards putting yourself in a better situation. That idea that you had, that you were like, oh man, I always wanted to do that, I should have done that, or an invention that you had. Whatever you had, good morning, Van. Good morning, Kuda. It was awesome seeing you. Good morning, Bill. I don't know if we won last night, Bam, or not. I hope we did. Sorry I couldn't be there. Really sorry I couldn't be there. I wanted to. But the bonfire, the barbecue were awesome, and it was a great group of people, so it was worth it. It's tough to pick between family. It's like dating two supermodels. You know what I mean? And one of them decides to tell you that, hey, I want to move forward with you and I don't want you to date anybody anymore. You're like, oh boy, I'm dating two supermodels. I don't like tell one supermodel that I can't date her anymore, But you got to make those decisions sometimes. And that was a decision I had to make yesterday. It was a tough one, but it was a good one. So, you end up, you have to, when you're working at that job and you're complacent, you hate it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to go in, but you're complacent. So you do it. You put up with it. And you don't even know how to get out of it. Like you don't even know how to escape it because we put ourselves in these boxes. But if you took even just 5 minutes to think about what else it is that you could do, there are a variety of ways to go out and get that new job. There are a variety of ways to get a second job that you can work a couple of days or a few days to increase your income. Now, not only that, but getting back to the inventions and the businesses that you always thought about or an idea that you had, why not develop that? Like, who cares? Like Kuda puts out music, and he and his family, the son, they've been putting out music for a long time. Like they try to record and, some of the stuff is successful, but some of it isn't. But he keeps trying. He keeps banging on that door. He doesn't give up. He doesn't quit. Just like football, the same thing. The Kings have notoriously not been a strong team. But he has tried to do everything that he can do to make that team better. To give those kids, to bring new kids in, to bring new men in, to do what he can. And he's always asking for help. And a lot of times he doesn't get the help, from myself included. He reached out to me and he said, Pete, I would love it if you get some guys out here. And I ask a few guys, but then I forget about it. But he's always committed to it every week, just like the rest of the team. Now we're getting a little bit better. We're getting a little bit better. We got new guys that are more committed to the process. They believe in the process. Now guys that were on the team that were strong players that may not have been strong players, they're getting stronger because they see other guys that believe in themselves and they're going to keep trying and they're going to fight with family. So you guys can do that too, like with whatever your passion is. I don't care what your passion is. Like, I don't care if it's making carpet. I don't care if it's making furniture. Whatever, you're welcome, brother. You know I love you. Whatever your passion is, you don't have to be 1,000% successful at it. You don't. We all think that we got to light the world on fire with whatever it is that we're doing. And that's just not the case. You can do it for your own happiness and and get value out of what it is that you're doing. Those are also the people that I admire and respect, are the people that have these hobbies that what they do is they commit to it. And then you always hear those stories, right? Like, oh yeah, I started building furniture here, and then all of a sudden, I went to this step and more people, and then I hired one person, and then I got involved this way and that. And you don't have to make millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars doing whatever you do. You just have to be creative about the way you approach it and think about it. That's it. But never stop adding to it. Never stop building. Never stop, like why do we work out? We don't work out to be worse than yesterday. We work out to either maintain, which even maintaining is good because, each of us are getting older. So as we get older, people deteriorate. You see all your friends, but if you're working and maintaining, but your friends are deteriorating, you could be deteriorating too if you weren't maintaining. Now, if you can go up a little bit each step of the way, that's awesome. But it's just like working on your house. The great analogy there. When you're working on your house, the whole thing doesn't get fixed all at once, right? It's one piece of the puzzle at a time. One piece of the puzzle at a time. I don't like this here. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to get this picture here. I'm going to do the lawn. I'm going to put this stonework in today. But it's always changing, right? It's always evolving. Your tastes are changing. Everything changes. So when you're doing your own thing with whatever you're passionate about, make sure you're constantly evolving. Don't be so... the biggest mistake that I made in my life was thinking I knew everything. When I played football as a kid, I knew everything you couldn't tell me. When I played football as an adult, same thing. For a long time, I knew everything. I didn't want to listen. In business, the same thing. I know I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to, I know. I'm not going to adapt. I'm not going to do this. And I don't know, it wasn't like that for everything in my life, but there were certain aspects of my life that were that way. I'm always trying to grow and expand and be better. And with your business that you have, whatever your idea is that you have, now this gets back to you're working still, but you would be amazing how much you get done when you just apply an hour towards something. You guys hear me tell that all the time, say that all the time. If you apply just 1 hour a day to something each day and you have a plan and you put it in a schedule, at the end of the week you got 7 hours in, and actually it becomes more than 7 because every day you're putting an hour in, you end up putting even more than that in. So like Kuda, I'll get back to an example with him. What could he do a little bit different? He tries practices. He's always trying to adapt. How do we do practice? How are we going to do this? Am I going to get new guys in? But it's not just about doing something different for the sake of doing something different. You analyze it and you weigh it and you evaluate it and you say, I think that this is the best thing. And then, people are always going to judge you. People are always going to say, that sucked. That was horrible. Okay, well, maybe it was just horrible to you. Maybe it wasn't horrible to everybody else. Maybe a lot of people thought it was a good idea or a good move, and one person said it was bad, and you just have to try to figure that out yourself. You're listening. You got to listen to yourself. You got to trust yourself with these different things that you take on. And that's where a lot of it comes from, guys. It's trusting yourself. Seeing the results, but of what decisions you've made and how you're approaching something, but it really comes down to just this intrinsic knowing and trusting in yourself that you're doing the right thing, even though other people are saying that it's not. So now all of a sudden you get one customer that buys your carpets. Then they tell somebody and get 2 or 3 customers. Now all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, I'm spending some time here and I'm making some money. There are so many things out there that are so simple to do that. And then that changes your life, guys. It absolutely transforms your life. Because now, rather than being in that little box, you get up in the morning, I gotta eat, I'm gonna let the dog out, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I gotta get in the car, I gotta fight traffic, or I'm working from home, and I'm just so bored with it, that you get to a point where you're like, oh shit, this is actually becoming something. And you reached outside that box. You reached outside those chains that bind us. Because guys, it is all self-imposed. Even with the tyranny that's happening right now in the lockdowns, if you stayed in your house, that was self-imposed. That fear was self-imposed because you listened to the television. You listened to the media. You didn't go out and do your own research. You listened to Cuomo. Venom Cuomo. El Duce Cuomo. I love it. Guys, we're making up these postcards. They're going to be amazing. They're going to have... And bam, Kuda, I need you to put together music for me, man. If you want to do this, it would be a beautiful thing. I don't know if you'd be down with it, but it would be amazing, man. But anyways, we're going to be doing, we're going to try to be doing a video. Oh my God, videos, it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. But anyways, I digress. But Kuda, make sure you talk to me about it because I want to do this, man. We could write, that would be amazing what we're trying to do to get this state back. And I don't want to get into that. I want to stay on this. But, we need to get the state back, guys. We need to give this state back to everybody. We need to give hope to everybody. Education needs to come back. Politics, governance, church, all of that stuff. People in those positions need to be held accountable. And it has to be given back to the people. Because right now it's only benefiting some people. It's not benefiting so many of the people. And it starts with education. And it starts with belief and hope. And so many people don't have belief and hope because they're told they can't. They're told, this is you, this is your station in life, and this is all you're ever going to do. But as we get older, we see the opportunity that's out there. So were you put behind the 8 ball because you were in a bad school, because you had bad teachers? Absolutely. But those chains and those boxes that you put yourself in, you continue to put yourself in those boxes. Because you're not reaching out. You don't even know. It's not even that you're afraid. You don't even know that you can escape it. Because we become so programmed, so conditioned, 9 to 5, 8 to 5, bop, 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 bop. I'm going to go into work and I'm going to do this. I'm going to come home and do this and bop, bop, bop. And you don't even see that there's an escape. So all of a sudden, we haven't worked and we're putting ourselves in a situation, in a position that, we're at home and we're struggling with finances. We're living week to week. We're just hoping the car doesn't break down. We're hoping the kids don't need anything more. But we weren't being responsible to ourselves. We weren't being good to ourselves because we really don't think that we can do anything different. But you can, because so many other people do. And I don't care what that idea is, what that passion is. Start there. Explore that. Explore, and it may be as simple as like me. People told me over and over and over again, Pete, you communicate well with people. It resonates with me. It makes a difference in people's lives. And I didn't pay attention to that. I took it for granted. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. Until finally enough people told me, and I'm like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. If people feel like, plus I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to figure out how I can support myself with this. I love construction too, don't get me wrong, but it's me, but it's not me. I love, the politics. Politics is me. How am I going to get involved and what am I going to do with that so that I'm able to not only help people, individually become stronger and believe in themselves that they can do something. So those are the things that I discovered and figured out. They were my passions. They have been my passions. If you know me, these have been my passions forever. And you can let those passions that you have benefit and support yourself. And you don't have to be afraid of that. You got to be responsible and have a job. Absolutely. You have to provide for yourself. You have to have income coming in. But, eventually where it's all of this on this side, where you're all working and you just got a little bit of time over here, all of a sudden it goes like this, a little bit less than this, a little bit more here, a little bit less here, a little bit more here, a little less here, a little more here. And all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I could really make this into something. I can do this. And those opportunities are out there. And I tell everybody that you can do that. And when you start to see and believe that, you can change things in your life. And then all of a sudden you're inspired. All of a sudden you feel like you have something going on. Rather than going out to the bar every day or sitting at home and, watching TV or just doing those mundane tasks, over and over and over and over again. You're playing the games on the phone for hours. You're watching YouTube for hours because we all say we don't have any time, right? Some people don't have time, those family, but those mothers that are out there that have 1, 2, and those mothers and fathers that have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids, but they hold the job down, they hold their house down, they provide for everybody, they get a second job, they go to school, they're doing all that. They make it happen. And how do they make it happen? They make it happen because they made a commitment to themselves. They made a commitment to the process. They scheduled it. They put a plan together for themselves. And if you got a brain in your head, we're all able to do that and make that stuff happen. And a big part of it is that when we have, I can do that. We can all do that. We hope that we can make this little thing happen. You're absolutely right, Diana. Diana started Free NYS, guys. Free NYS is a Facebook page that has 21,000 people. Brilliant woman, has a beautiful daughter, Hope, and she works so hard to make that happen. But she has a job. She has a full-time job that she does. And she still was able to accomplish that. And now she's highly regarded and respected by everybody because these other pages, usually we get a few hundred, a few thousand people, and then it kind of caps out. Well, she just keeps going and going and going. And she's putting information and she's networking and she's meeting all of these different people and she's passionate. And she homeschools. I don't know if she homeschools or not. I think she does. Hope is home a lot. And she does a lot of great things. But it's true, Diana. It's absolutely true. And, and it's not just Diana. It's so many other mothers and fathers and men and women that are out there that are doing the same thing. And I'm going to talk about this really quick. And I'm not going to give his name because I don't know if he wants me to give his name. But last night, and I've seen him a bunch of times. I forgot his name, honestly. Guys, if I ever forget your name, even if I met you a dozen times, please don't hold it. Don't hold it against me. I'm working very hard to remember names. I've always been horrible at it. And, I'm doing better. I'm trying to do better to remember the names. And first part is to pay attention to who I'm talking to, and say it 3 times. But still, sometimes I don't. There's so much information rolling around up there. So if I ever forget your name, even if we've met a few times, please don't hold it against me. I don't hold it against anybody. If somebody forgets my name, I'm like, I don't care, whatever. They've got so many people that they meet, but I am trying to get better at it. So I've met him a few times. I briefly had an opportunity to speak, but last night at Joe Kanaski's house at our bonfire and our barbecue, which was awesome. Joe, thank you so much, brother. Joe, the second time in a week, Joe had this barbecue and bonfire. Great time. Mike and I were cutting the trees down, and Joe was chopping them, and the girls were inside cooking. And then Joe just doesn't stop. He's cooking chicken. He had all this chicken, Chevette's chicken. I mean, I don't even know how many pounds. a chicken. I mean, it might have been 15 pounds of chicken he had. I was a ton of chicken. May have been even more. We had all the salads and the potato chips and oh my God, brownies. Man, I am a sucker for a few things with desserts. Brownies are one of them, and they were the good kind too. You know, they were not. You know, I mean, the thick ones are. I got all kinds of brownies I love. This is what well, I'm not kidding anybody. And chocolate chip cookies are the same thing. Like I love me some chocolate chip cookies, and oh my God, if they are good, yeah, forget about it. I'm toast. And the brownies, they were those thin ones, and they were just like so fudgy inside and just perfect, and you know, just that little bit of crispiness on the edges, you know, around the edge, you know, where it's baking. And they had them in, and they took them out just at the perfect time. And I had one, and when it was half a dish left, I could have seriously had the half a dish. I think I earned it. I chopped a tree down and made it fall on Joe's tree, on the apple tree. But it was just a great time. And, you know, I can't thank Joe enough for everything. But getting back to who I was talking to last night. Now, this guy's story is amazing, you know, and how this connects is how we think. And that's the next step on everything of the evolution of you and how you bring yourself to a different place. This individual is so smart. He's operated farms. He developed his own feed. He, you know, the crops that he had, signature crops, won so many awards. You know, the livestock that he had won awards. Raised his daughters, 2 daughters. Raised his daughters. The woman that he was with left him. Raised his 2 daughters. And, you know, he's done a great job. 22 and 23 now. He has an 11-year-old. And he's doing a great job with them. But he's had struggles in his life as a kid, you know. And I don't want to get into all the details because I don't want to expose. But he had some troubles in school. And he had to leave school after 9th grade. And he survived. He's a survivor. And so many of us are survivors. But he's victimized by people. And it's not just them, it's him. It's us. We allow these people who see through us, either the people we're dating, our parents or friends, whatever, relatives. They know that we have good hearts. They know that we have big hearts. And we know that we're going to try to be there for people. And they know how to exploit that. They know how to take advantage of it. And we're like, well, this person would never do that to me. They wouldn't do it. And this individual's life was a lifelong parade, one moment after another, one individual after another, of who exploited him and took advantage of him. And yet, and he was in 9th grade, and he went out on his own, and he survived, and just one thing after another that any one of us beat down again, rise up, beat down again, rise up, beat down again. And the stories he has and the people that he knows and that he's met are incredible. And he's lived an amazing and blessed life. But what happened? Just like with me, just like with so many of you, we don't know how to be good to ourselves. We don't think that we deserve it. We don't think that we can have it. You know, we don't think that it's ours for the taking. Sometimes you think, well, if I get up, I'm only going to be knocked back down, which is a natural reaction after that has happened so many times. But you have to take a look at it. And you look at yourself and you say, what did I contribute? What did I do to get knocked down? What can I learn from that? How can I be more? How can I be better? How can I be stronger? How can I be smarter? How can I be more adaptive? And learn from every single one of those knockdowns. And when you get over those knockdowns, what happens is you do get stronger and you do get smarter and you are more enabled for yourself, enabled. And you believe and you have this faith and trust in yourself. that you can do it. Because it's not yin and yang, guys. Like, that is a bullshit. Yeah, right. Thanks, Diana. It's a bullshit concept, yin and yang. It really is. And it's a line of goods that we were sold on to keep us good because, oh, hey, if we do good, we got to watch out. The other shoe's going to drop. No. Stop believing that. Stop victimizing yourself by that and just do and keep doing. And that's what this individual did. He kept pushing through and persevering. And, I listened to the guy's story. I'm like, dude, you should be literally a multi-millionaire, hundreds of times over with all the money you should have made and everything that you have. But we limit ourselves. We limit ourselves because we feel like if we go any higher, we're going to be knocked down. We limit ourselves because we don't believe that we can or can't achieve or get that or deserve that success. So we limit ourselves. We fear failure, and a lot of times. So we keep ourselves down. Don't fear it. Be fearless. The things that so many of us can accomplish and do by just shattering through that ceiling, one moment at a time, one piece of the puzzle at a time, building, building, building. Then all of a sudden you take a look back, and instead of his life where he's dealing with a few legal issues, absolutely civil, rather than dealing with a few legal issues and, kind of worrying about where he is going to be financially and monetarily, had he been in a place however long ago to be able to do that, look at where he would be. But the important thing is this: do not regret. Do not dwell on. Do not focus on the things that you haven't done. Don't. Say that they were all learning experiences that got you to this point in time. All of that knowledge, experience, education, information that you absorbed and you applied to your life made you then ready to move forward. And you can't look at it like, well, shit, I was this way for 40 or 50 years, I'm just going to be this way. No. Every single day is an opportunity to start your life and put it on the path and the direction that you want to. Every moment is a moment to change your life for the way you want it to be. Everything in our lives is here, guys. Every single thing in our lives is there. What decisions have we made? How are we treating ourselves? Every single one. Now, the conversation that I had with this individual, there's some things he needs to take care of. Legally, I gave him information from my attorney, who's amazing. And my attorney, Jason D. Pasquale, man, he owes me some dividends, man. I've been sending some people his way. But anyways, maybe he'll take care of me on the legal matter that I have in Cheektowaga as a result. Wink, wink. But to that end, guys, thank you so much for everybody that donated. I haven't had a chance to thank you guys. It was like $600 or $700. Thank you so much to everybody that donated to that. Thank you so much to Erica Case and Joe Palladino for Erica Case put it together, the whole thing. And she asked, and she's like, Pete, we're doing this for you. And so many other people did too. So thank you, everybody that offered. But Joe Palladino was the one that convinced me to do it. So guys, thank you so much for doing that. And that case is October 26th. I'll keep you guys posted on it. As far as, we were just talking about here, just be good to yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. So the gentleman that I was talking to last night, he can start right now in being 50. Oh, it was a GoFundMe for the attorney's fees, Diana. But he can either start believing in himself, he's almost 50, and he can believe that he can make the best of every day. Because that's really what it comes down to. It's not 40 or 50 years of failures. If you have one amazing day of giving to yourself, guys, everybody that I have worked with that gives themselves this, that one day that they gave themselves everything. They put things on a list. They cleaned, they stayed focused on their family, they cooked dinner, they did all of that. that one day outweighs all that other stuff. And then day 2, and then day 3. And you're going to slip. We all slip. We feel like we need to get back to whatever it is that we were doing. That all happens, guys. But when you do slip, that's all it is. You didn't fall off the mountain. You just slipped on the trail. You pick yourself back up. You dust yourself off. You're at the same exact point on the trail. You didn't lose all that experience and knowledge. You didn't fall off the mountain and kill yourself or break a leg. You just slipped and fell. You get up, you move on. Now, the people that I talk to, I kind of always know the people that are going to move forward with this and the people that aren't. And, it's at 50-50 with the guy that I talked to last night. If he does what he can do, if he commits to himself, if he commits to his happiness, the things that this guy can accomplish are unbelievable. He can own multiple farms, he can consult, he can work on equipment, he can raise livestock. He can start a coalition of something, whatever, farming, I don't know, I know there's a lot of those things out there, groups. He can do that one step at a time, just like any of us can do. But it all starts in your head. So everything that I shared, it all starts in your own head. How much belief and faith do you have in yourself? How much belief and faith do you have to thinking you can be happy, that you deserve to be happy, and to know that you can give yourself that happiness? And everybody that I work with, I ask them, that's the first question I say, or the first set of questions. I go, are you happy? Do you believe you can be happy? Who do you think's responsible for your happiness? Do you believe you can make yourself happy? Do you believe you can be happy? And those answers to those questions are very telling. They're very, very telling. Is it burned off? It's still there, you jerk. Where's Ruby? I'm taking all of her eggs. So I'm going to tell you this. Joe and I, we had this big-ass log that he's had at his place for like 4 years, and I honestly think he was getting me back for hurting his apple tree. He asked me to grab it. We grabbed the tree, the big log. He's like, we're going to throw this on. And it's like, 1, 2, and instead of 3, he's like throwing it. I'm like, oh shit, here we go, we got to go. And we put it on top, and my face is like in the fire, and instantly, that smell. That burning hair smell. I'm like, man, I got no hair, but it's all burned off everywhere, the side of the face, arms. It smelled all last night sleeping. That's on you, Joe. I still got eyebrows. But getting back to what I was talking about, I'm going to finish up here. It really is a commitment to yourself every moment of every day to believe that you can be happy, that you deserve to be happy. And then to go out and find the things that make you happy. I don't know if you're one of these people. I was, like when you listen to actors or you listen to people in your life or a musician, and they go, oh, what do you like to do? Or how do you like this? Or which songs are this? And I always wonder to myself, how do they know that? Like, how do they know that they like to do that? And it comes down to experience. It comes down to, rather than spinning your wheels in life, with your kids and your house and your job and your car and all that other stuff, it comes down to knowing that that free time that you have, instead of playing games, instead of watching YouTube, instead of watching TV, instead of wasting time at the bar or just going out to a restaurant, whatever, it's making that commitment to yourself and your dream and your vision and developing a dream and a vision. Because once you do that, you start to put in your schedule what you like to do. Do you like to go for a walk? Put it in your schedule. Do you like to work on a house? Put it in your schedule. Do you like to help the neighbors? Put it in your schedule. And all of a sudden, one day at a time, you start to get happier and happier. And you start to believe that you can be happy, and then you become happy. And I have seen people turn it around and change it. Sometimes it takes a while. but I have seen people understand the concepts and transform their lives in minutes, guys. And all it takes is how you think. You know, you take a look at Antifa on their side and Black Lives Matter, and you take a look at these politicians and these government agencies. They are surrounded by misery. And they are a part of that. They're a contributor of that unhappiness. They've never known how to be happy. And those victimizers, you know, those individuals that are out there that have special interests, they take advantage of good people that are in Antifa, good people that are in Black Lives Matter, good people that are in governments, good people that are in politics. Some of those people are bad, and then some of those people become a part of the establishment. But some of them are good people that just don't know any better. But they just want to perpetuate unhappiness and sadness and misery because that's all they know. So nobody else deserves to be happy if I'm unhappy. Well, why don't you try to be happy, man? Happiness is a pretty good place to be. You know, one of the things that I wanted to say, it's the simple things in life. And those people that I admire are those people that give themselves those simple things. And I hope you guys see this in life too. You know, those people that go camping. You know, and we're sitting at home, I don't have time to go camping. Really? Because this person does. How do they make time? You know, the people that work on their motorcycles or go for motorcycle rides, or they work on a race car and they do that, or they like doing home improvement and they're fixing their house, or whatever it is. Give yourself those happy things. Whatever those things that you have, give them to yourself each and every day, or at least each and every month, each and every week, if it's big, like camping or whatever it is. But if you like to ride motorcycle, or you like to ride bikes, or you like to go down to the water and watch the water, give it to yourself a few times a week. Why not do it? What's stopping you? You're the only one that's stopping you. And then you're going to build on that happiness, guys. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So I didn't really get to, I've been wanting to do an episode like this for a while, an episode alive like this for a while. I just keep getting distracted by everything else that's going on. I hope this connects and resonates with some of you guys. You know, if anybody has any questions or needs anything more with this, by all means, please reach out to me in Messenger. If you know anybody that is struggling, that you're struggling with helping, have them reach out to me. You know, I'll either do what I can do for them. I'll be able to evaluate them very quickly, or I'll try to put them with somebody that can help them. Hope you guys have a great day. Happy Monday. It's Columbus Day, right? So some of us are off. But I will talk to you guys later. Love you guys. And thank you, everybody, for everything that you're doing. You know, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Mike. You know, thank you, everybody. Desiree for doing the Marching Patriots. And thank you for Joe for doing the barbecue yesterday. I really appreciate you guys. Take care.